Did you know a simple ink blot almost changed the fate of an entire continent? Let me take you back to the year 1884 in Berlin, where global superpowers were carving up Africa during the infamous Berlin Conference. Representatives from 14 nations gathered to divide Africa's vast lands amongst themselves, without consulting a single African kingdom, tribe, or ruler. This conference would go on to shape borders still in place today. But here's the twist you may not know. One ink blot almost rewrote this history. During the negotiations, a meticulous hand-drawn map was the centerpiece of the discussions. Lines in ink marked the territories each European power claimed. Portugal, Britain, France, Germany, the colonial heavyweights, were all at the table. But tensions simmered, agreements were precarious, and everyone knew the flicker of the smallest dispute could lead to chaos. Now, enter Sir Edward Malfield, a British diplomat representing his nation's interests at the conference. On a fateful afternoon, as diplomats haggled over which river would serve as the border between French and British territories in West Africa, Sir Edward clumsily spilled a drop of black ink right onto the delicate map. The ink blob spread, obscuring the boundary in question and neighboring borders as well. What followed was an uproar. Furious French diplomats accused the British envoy of sabotaging the discussion. Meanwhile, German officials began suggesting different borders altogether, taking advantage of the pandemonium. Confusion erupted, and the conference came to an abrupt halt for several hours. Secret meetings took place in the meantime, as nations debated salvaging their claims. What could have been a diplomatic disaster was narrowly avoided when the cartographer, an unsung hero of this tale, presented a clean backup copy of the map he had left in his bag. Peace was restored, and the conference resumed, but whispers lingered. Some argued that Sir Edward's clumsy ink spill may not have been entirely accidental. Was it a ploy or plain negligence? We may never know. Regardless, that tiny ink spill served as a reminder of just how fragile the balance of power was amongst these colonial empires. An unintended accident, or a thicker smear of ink, could have resulted in borders drastically different from what we see in modern Africa today. Maps literally drew the lines of destiny, and one drop of ink almost changed everything. So next time you glance at a map, remember, even a small blot of ink can leave a huge stain on history. What do you think? Accident or intent? Leave a comment below. If you love piecing together untold history like this, hit that follow button for more.